And I want to start right from the beginning because I remember when we were chatting previously, when we had an informal chat, you spent so much of time to tell me how you hire. And you said that
Mhm.
for a business to be successful, you have to have the right team, you have to build the team. And the first step for that is to hire the correct person. Could you share a little
That's
bit
right.
about your process of hiring? Because you spend so much of time, you invest so much of yourself. You don't leave it to, the leadership team in your organization or to HR or something. It is you and you who are involved in hiring people. Please do share because I think that is the starting point of creating a great team.
I always believed that any entrepreneur, any head of the business, apart from being a CEO or the founder, he has to be the HR manager. Unless and until you yourself is an HR manager, nobody will join you because people will work for you, not for the company when you are building it up, right? They look into you. I have seen many people before giving interview or coming for the interview. They read about me, what kind of people I am. I still remember. So there's a person. I think you also know him. I told him to interview someone senior for PSAFE a couple of years back. So when he was talking about to that person, he was only talking the negative about myself. That you gonna be with Vikas for 24/7 because you are being hired for the senior most position. You have to understand his likes, dislikes, how he reacts, how he get angry, and what are his negativity. Because unless and until you know about it, because everyone shows positive of a company, कि आपको ये मिलेगा, वो मिलेगा, ये है, but nobody knows कि he gets up 3 o'clock in the morning and will start messaging, right? Are you ready for that? So these kind of information I always share with my senior team members. Now coming back to, so PSEP is a very different game altogether. It's a startup. It's a very, very young team. But I want to give how I build my other businesses where people are working with me for, I think the oldest one is 21 years. I have more than 15 people who have been working with me for more than 15 years now. Right. And PSEF also, yeah, Redcliffe Hygiene started in 2017. So I have around 12 who are working with me since April 2017. And they were the first timer in their job, first timer in their job. Uh, I never hire someone who has always been A grader, right? Who has always been in top five. I never hire them. Reason being, because I look for someone who has not literally failed in something, but has been average, right? Has not able to get into IIT or in IM, but has done something from a different university. Why? Because he tried hard. He couldn't get into it because you have put certain quota, right? Certain limit to get into an IM and IT, but it doesn't mean that he's not good, right? So I look for those guys of people. If I'm not hiring from IIT and IM, because there is a role specific, skill sets are also there. Why? Because many a time in the business there will be crisis, right? And that person needs to handle it. And if you are out, myself, if I consider myself sitting at the edge, I want that person to take all the calls, because I'll be there. He knows that I'm sitting right on the fence. If I will not let him fall, but I want him to take the call. If he has an A grader throughout his life, he will never know how to come up from the bottom of the curve because that is for the first time he's facing failure. And if the guy who has been an average, he has been rejected. He has been rejected. He know कि यार मेरे को, I was in the bottom of the curve, and there are only two ways to go up. Either you take left up or you take right up, but you will go up. But the guy who has faced the failure for the first time, he will decide कि मैं left जाऊं या right जाऊं. Left जाए और right जाऊं तब तक time निकल जाएगा. you know so that's why I always look for first that he's not a grader always. B, for my senior positions, I always look at what type of family background he comes from, what type of responsibility he has. Well, Abhi, he just got married. Is his wife is pregnant, or they are pregnant? Rather, that's the right word. They are pregnant. They are expecting a newborn, and the role demands traveling 20 days. He won't able to do it after 2 months because at this moment he needs job. He will join me, but after 2 months he will say, hey, you know what? We are having a baby. I need. And as a owner, as a humanity, you will say, hey, go take a leave, but that will affect your business, right? So be very, very, very transparent. Say all the or the negative of the business, all the negative of the roles rather than positive. Because the more you say about "Ki, these are the things which we need to expect out of you," he will be more than happy to join you. Uh, I think 4 times I have even interviewed the spouse, right? I wanted to know what type of character he is, or because when you talk to the the insignificant other, you can understand, right? How much that person loves that person, or how she's angry when he's not coming home or something like that, or is late. So I always talk about that. What type of inspiration, aspiration these guys carry within their family. So I talk to them as well. I always look where the person is coming from, city, right? Me coming from Calcutta, I don't know why, and you also, because you're a Bengali as well. Uh, I somehow, you know, finish hiring or end up hiring a Bengali. I don't know why. You know, uh, out of 200 people who works in PSAFE, I have like 25 people Bengali, right? And they don't have any connection from Calcutta. They have been completely out of Bengal, but I don't know why. I have something like that. So maybe I'm biased toward the place where I grew up. Uh, so these are the few things which I look for. I actually many a times I do check on integrity initially, very very initially, and there is a zero tolerance in me even for one paisa. You can ask me and you can take whatever you want from me, but if you you know give a voucher which even a pasa is not there, I won't tolerate it. And they know, so I tell them, okay, this is my nature. Maybe you've been working with me for 20 years, but if you do this kind of financial irregularities, I won't take it. So I talk about myself more, because they have to work with me, and then the role, and then the company. Because first they have to work with me, then they have to get the role, and then they have to perform for the company. So this is the way I go. Otherwise, I see many entrepreneurs, founders, they talk about the company first. Of course, it's very important, but I'm a people's manager. I've always been a people's manager. I also see that the training part, when I hire someone, uh, and this happens in PSAFE. Uh, in PSAFE, a lot of people are first timer freshers, right? But within 6 months, they actually go into assistant manager role and they started hiring. They have someone who reports into them, and it becomes so overwhelming for them, but they don't know how to handle people. So I take a lot of time in in talking to those guys, that how they can be a people's manager, because that's very important. If you train them at that point of time, they will definitely understand that why my manager is shouting at me, because if I'm not able to perform, the same thing will he'll handle his subordinate accordingly. So that actually helps. And the vision of growing in the company, that's very important. I always tell them that, boss, this is what you can be up to. Lastly, if I have to hire someone for the new role or something like that, first I will look into my own company. I will come back to my team and say, hey, you know what? There is a job opportunity on this particular vertical, right? Please apply and prove and give an interview that you can do this job. If we are unable to find someone from the team within, then we go outside. And that has been true for all my businesses. All my businesses.
Wow, because and how much time do you spend from the time that you shortlist a candidate to hire him or her till the actual onboarding joining starts? How much time do you spend to get to know the candidate,
You
or
know,
how many interactions?
so now the interaction is very low when it comes to PSAFE, because PSAFE has many senior people, and I'm so proud of them that they hire a very good team. But generally, up to a certain pay grade and above, I do talk to people in the last, and I can let them know that, okay, one go mein ki yaar ye chalega nahi chalega. I can let them know, and it's not that I'm always right. I'd say that 70% I have of the time I've been right, 30% I have failed in selecting a right candidate. I'm so you can't be 100% perfect. uh, In my other businesses, I try to talk to 4 5 times in a different time, different locations, if it's possible. Mood, over a coffee, over a beer, over drinks. I used to do that. I never. Yeah. So I think uh, different time zones, different places brings your character to life. How you react, how you behave to a waiter, how you come and sit, how you respect others. I think these are the things I really really notice. So I think that's very important for me, because I'm not hiring someone for a couple of years. I'm hiring someone, and this is all about my senior role. I'm hiring someone who want to take my place one day.